Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Welcome to the Light Space. One of the most common phrases I've heard throughout my lifetime, which I'm sure many of you are also familiar with, is life is hard. It's practically drilled into us from birth into adulthood, but this again is just another untrue belief that stems from outdated information. Scientists once observed in the animal kingdom that there was more mouths to feed than there was food to go around. Therefore, they came up with the well-known term and concept, survival of the fittest. This belief then spilled over into society and began perpetuating itself, even though this is not the case for us. We live in a land of abundance, abundant money, opportunity, and capacity for growth. Things are very different for us than in the animal world. Life does not have to be a struggle. In fact, it is my stern belief that life is meant to be easy. We're meant to live a life of continuous happiness, wealth, and success. So how do we shake this outdated paradigm from our system and start making life easy? Beliefs create our reality, but if you are one of the many sleepers out there who has yet to wake up, your life will mostly be governed by societal beliefs, like life is a struggle, money is the root of all evil, and so on. When you learn to create your own beliefs, you will become the architect of your life. What do you struggle over? Some common forms of struggle include lack of money, lack of self-love, lack of consciousness, lack of opportunity, and lack of general satisfaction, whether that be in relationships, fitness, or something else. When I drastically improved my self-esteem, a huge part of my suffering disappeared. I would no longer get offended or upset if a relationship didn't work out, or if someone behaved in a way that I didn't approve of. Where these things used to offend me deeply and affect me on a personal level, I would now brush it off so much easier, as I finally realized it had nothing to do with me, and I stopped blaming myself. One of my favorite books, The 4 Agreements, teaches us that nothing is personal. Even if someone hates you, it is merely a reflection of their beliefs and has no true bearing on you as a person. That part is down to you. When I started meditating daily, another huge part of my suffering disappeared because all of the panic and stress I used to experience started disappearing. I was much more calm and centered throughout all manner of situations and saw things in a much more balanced light. I used to be insecure about my body until I started frequently visiting the gym, and so on. Write down a big list of all the things that bring you pain, no matter how small, then begin taking action to eliminate them. Most of the things on your list will be ticked off through personal development. The internal governs the external. When you begin to change your internal wiring, your surroundings will change to reflect that. Every question has an answer, but most people aren't even asking. What do you want to achieve? Most likely you can simply Google it and follow the directions listed. When you master your internal condition, you will master your entire life. So many people don't know what they want. This is simply because they don't know themselves. When you free yourself from the negative habits in your day-to-day life and replace them with positive practices, things will become so much clearer, as you will finally be in touch with your authentic self, the real you, not the false sense of self that so many of us overly identify with. Much of what I used to do was for immediate pleasure, immediate money, immediate sex, immediate thrills, and so on, which only kept leading me back to more chaos. After a particularly rough week, I realized if anything was going to change, I would have to change first. Barely a day later, someone recommended the book Mastery by Robert Greene to me. I'd never read anything like it. This book completely changed my life. Personal development soon became my new addiction. I changed more in the following 6 months than my entire life because my life direction had finally changed. I was utterly astonished at how much my life transformed as a result of my new internal quest for growth. Having a beautiful partner and piles of money are wonderful things to have, but they're only a small part of an infinitely bigger picture. I used to feel confused when I saw successful celebrities and rich people resorting to drug addiction and self-destructive habits. Then I realized without a great relationship with yourself, you ultimately have nothing. You will always be misguided until you know and love yourself. There is a natural flow to life, an alignment with the universe's heartbeat. When you quiet the mind and follow your heart without fear, you become like water, flowing from one checkpoint to the next, like a fun adventure, the way life's meant to be. The non-stop thinking and internal noise stops us from achieving this flow state. With inner peace and a huge emphasis on positivity, this can become your natural way of being. Whatever you're struggling with, believe there is an answer. You have to know that life is meant to be heaven, continuously. It will take time to rewire your beliefs and cleanse all the negativity from over the years, but eventually you will forget what suffering even feels like. Of course, life will still provide its ups and downs and unpredictable turns, but you will be so much better prepared. You will stay calm and centered and roll with the punches like a champion. When you take responsibility for yourself, you will release blame and stop being a victim. Now you're in control of your perceptions and feelings, and life is yours to mold as you see fit, rather than just being thrown wherever it takes you. I've made plenty of other videos on how to master and rewire your beliefs, so feel free to browse around. I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.